It is again more difficult to travel to our island neighbor 90 miles off of the Florida coast. President Donald Trump announced he would roll back some of the initiatives on Cuba former President Barack Obama had moved forward. The move comes at a time when trade with the island nation is picking up steam, and many in Louisiana hope for more, as it would be a huge boon to agricultural enterprises. Louisiana Commissioner of Agriculture and Forestry Dr. Mike Strain recently visited with President Trump and says while he does not think the rollback is the right direction, he still sees a path forward.
We have been assured by White House officials that this is not going to have a negative impact on agricultural trade. There are going to be a number of restrictions that are put in place in doing business with Cuba. Specifically, there will be restrictions if it involves the Cuban military or parts of the Cuban government. However, there will be exemptions to this, and one of those is going to be in agriculture, as we are being told. There are also going to be increased restrictions for travel. You'll only be able to travel in groups for a specific purpose, not individually to Cuba, and a number of other restrictions. And I think what's going on is that they're trying to put things in a position to renegotiate some of the issues that are between our countries. These new restrictions are not going to the extent of elimination of our embassies. Those will remain in place. The American embassy will remain in Cuba. There will be a Cuban embassy in Washington, D.C. But also, coming from the administration is a desire to have further talks on changes within the Cuban government. So we'll see where that goes.
Having visited Cuba last year, I can tell you the real snag in getting more trade with the U.S. is the lack of funds in Cuba to buy U.S. products. Opening up the country to U.S. tourism would certainly help. Meanwhile, our own Neil Melancon will be traveling to Cuba next month, so we should get a better idea of what we can expect both from these travel restrictions and the possibility of more trade.